Hey, good morning,
Good morning.
Sebastian. Good morning. How are you?
Good.
Mm.
Ready to rumble.
Okay, nice. What are we talking about today, Sebastian?
I've heard some rumors they said about content marketing.
Okay.
Why is it important to do content marketing for your agency?
So,
So,
why, I guess the question to kind of start off here is, um, why did we pick this topic, right?
mhm.
And for anybody who's listening, Sebastian and I've gone on a personal journey where right now my agency, we've never done content marketing before, but we've just started pushing out content. And Sebastian, you're in a different space, which is kind of interesting, right? Because you're in the space of wanting to start to do content marketing. So I guess my first question to you is, why is content marketing important for you? Why do you think it's something that everybody who's watching the show should be thinking about and doing?
Not everybody, but and I should also say we did in the past some content marketing because we are a marketing agency. Would be funny if we don't do content marketing at all. We did in the past, for example, on Instagram. So we pushed already in the past about it. We also connected to search engine optimization. We wrote some articles. We have some advertorials. I think in general, it's like to raise brand awareness,
Hmm, hmm,
to
hmm.
make yourself a name in the industry, and to be seen as a professional, but also provide value to your audience. I was thinking this morning about this content marketing, and for example, the Futur, they're doing great content on YouTube and
Hmm.
podcasts and so on.
What Chris did.
And exactly. And they provide lots of value. And if you ask, what do you watch or what do you listen when you want to know more about design? This Futur pops up
Hmm,
everywhere.
hmm.
And the same for your company when there is a specific topic, maybe not directly digital marketing because it's a really big topic, but maybe digital marketing, for example, for your niche, for automotive or for real estate, what we are looking for, your name comes up,
Hmm, hmm.
and you have an authority in this niche, in this position, and this is connected from my point of view to content marketing. On the other side, if you're a digital marketing agency and you want to provide content marketing to others, you should do it for yourself, because if you
Yeah.
can't do it for yourself, when I'm a customer, why do I want to work with you if you can't even do it for yourself?
I think the thing that everybody who's listening, we kind of have to think about is like, you have to think of your agency, or company, the business that you're getting, the leads that you're getting are like in a funnel, right? So they come down in this funnel, and your content is at the top of this funnel. So somebody sees your content, they
Exactly.
like what they see, and they then move down the funnel. So the next thing they see maybe is your website. Then maybe they read a blog post or they look at a project. And then after that, they get in touch. So content is always that first initial point of
Foundation. Yeah.
contact, right?
Yeah.
It's how people first get in touch with you. It's how people first see you. But also through content, we can build familiarity. People can suddenly realize, oh, Sebastian seems like a great guy. I like the massive seven on the back of his office. I wonder what that's about. Maybe I should have a chat with him about that. And you start to build rapport, right? Like if you're a really smiley person on video, then you're gonna give a good impression to potential clients. And at
Yeah.
the end of the day, we buy off of people that we build trust with. So when you're putting out video content, um, somebody, right, when they watch your video, they start to feel like they know you already, Sebastian. So then, like, right, like when somebody then gets in touch, they already feel like they know Sebastian, and it's not
Know
too
some
scary.
parts. Yeah, exactly. It's not too scared. It's really good points that you made there. And with the funnel is a really nice explanation for our audience, because that's how it goes. It takes time, and this content marketing is just takes some time, but they get to know you and they coming down, and at one point they come to you and say, hey, I need some digital marketing service. And when you ask, yeah, how have you heard of us? Oh, I watched this video. I had this year. We did YouTube videos 3 years ago. And he was like, yeah, I was watching this video about SEO and it was really awesome. And that's why I decided now in 2021
Yeah.
to contact you. So sometimes it takes some time, but and when you produce evergreen content, it's like it stays there and it gains views and
Do you mind
also
just,
some new people.
for those people who don't know who are listening, what is evergreen content?
Content that you produce or a content that has something in general that you can watch maybe in 10 years and it's still accurate and it's still up to date.
That way, you could post something that's like 3 or 4 years old, and people are still watching it and still using it because it's still relevant or current. Unfortunately,
Positioning. You can talk about positioning also next year, also in 20 years, also in 30 years, because it's still important to position yourself. And this is, for example, evergreen content.
unfortunately, sometimes I think some content can date very quickly because of technology in the industry that we're in. If you talk about SEO, best SEO practices in 2019, probably those best SEO practices are going to run out within a year's time because it just changes so quickly. But for example, like website design and talking about design, talking about like for you guys, for example, like marketing concepts, what is a Google ad? I don't think that will ever change. The definition of a Google ad, I'd like to think.
The definition now with the metaverse, let's see what will come next. So never say never, but I think in general about frameworks, the golden ratio, for example, in design, this will stay there. It will stay there, and you can always discuss it and have maybe new ideas about it or see it from different angle. Also with the new technology and this. Yeah, it's really cool for you when you produce this kind of content and you get some views.
What sort of objections do you think people have to making content? Some of our viewers are probably going to be listening right now and they're like, fuck off, Harry and Sebastian. I'm not making content, whether it takes loads of time or,
And outsource it. Then I would say outsource it.
Yeah.
Outsource it to someone, but the person needs to be aligned with your vision of the company and your brand. And there will be at the beginning, of course, a lot of back and forth, how I see it, or you are really lucky and this person produces exactly what you want to produce. And I mentioned this already in some other videos. Pick a format that you feel comfortable. I don't like so much writing, for example. I like more to talk or to listen. So for me, audio, video, podcast is something that I like to do. So I don't feel forced. The only thing is that we start in the morning, and for me it's just to be here in time in the office. This is the only thing. But when I'm here, it's totally fine. And for these that are out, just start, and you will see. Even if you do something that you're out of your comfort zone, at one point you will say, "Oh, this is something new. I learned something new." And your first video will be not the biggest hit in the internet for sure. But when you do it step by step, every week, for example, how we doing it, you get better and better and you get more comfortable.
I'm going to be really honest with you guys who are watching right now. We started a year ago, I think, in like January, nearly a year now. That's crazy to think. And our first content when we were on Clubhouse, I think we started on Clubhouse and then we went to YouTube. But we fucking sucked, dude. And, and the first Clubhouse was like, really, the first Clubhouse was just me and Sebastian chatting rubbish for a bit, and we got some people up, and it was really good. Then we started getting more into it, right? We started actually planning our show. Then we tried to get guest speakers on. Then we added music. For some reason, our production quality is similar on YouTube. I was about to say it's worse, but it's actually not. We I forget we have intros, we have thumbnails, but the first YouTube videos that we did were fucking terrible as well. And we just like weren't very comfortable with speaking. We didn't really know our format. But my point here is if you start, your first video, I think Christo says an amazing line, which is like, your first video that you put out is going to be terrible, but the next video is going to be better. And by the 100th video, you're going to be this talking, walking machine saying all these great things in video. And you'll also learn all the intricacies. You'll learn how to edit content, you'll learn how to talk more confidently. And as Sebastian said, if the idea of like editing your content isn't very interesting, or putting together the visuals for it isn't very interesting, but you enjoy the actual talking and doing like a podcast or writing or whatever, just outsource the bits that you don't like, and go on like a site called Upwork. Just post the job, get some proposals in, checked out the proposals, and kind of work off of that. But I think it is really important, right, Seb, to tell everybody that their first video is gonna fucking suck, man. There's no
no, normally it's like this, Harry, only if they are maybe a genius. But Harry, you made some really good points here, which you mentioned, and I totally agree with you. This is like a journey, and on this journey you have lots of learnings. And when you can present yourself here in this video and you can speak free, think of a presentation that you have to do at one point, or think of maybe a workshop that you want to hold online or in person. This helps you with your ability to speak, how to present yourself, because you also see yourself in the video. So there's a lot of outcome for you and benefits for you doing, for example, with the video.
And it's important, right, to stress that sometimes people aren't confident on video. I love it. You love it. I also know you're an audio person, so spoken word is also okay. But like, if you're an introvert, or like you say, oh, Harry, Sebastian, there's no way in hell I'm getting on video and doing a YouTube show, then think about what you really enjoy. If you're a creative person, maybe do some carousels on Instagram. Or if you're really into your writing and you did a master's in English literature or something like that, then use those writing skills and make some articles on LinkedIn, or some articles on SEO. Write some blog articles, for example. But I think the real thing that I found recently is figuring out who you're talking to, who your avatar is, of like who you want to talk to. And we talked about this for our YouTube show of like who are we talking to, who's this content for. And I want to get your opinion as to like why is that important? So is it important?
The audience, I think the audience is important, because if you just talk about a topic that you don't want to have this audience or this target group, then you won't be happy, because what you get out of this is just for you to make some videos. But if these people reach out to you and you say, oh no, I don't want to work with these people because this is not my target group, I want these people, then you need to make content for this target group.
Yeah.
And if you don't feel comfortable to speak to this target group, then maybe your positioning or the topic that you want to talk is not maybe for the right people. Then pick something that you like to talk about it. So
I think something that people can get very dissuaded about is like metrics. So they're doing like weeks on weeks of content and they're getting like low views, or they're not really getting like loads of likes, for example, if people think that's important, or they're not getting any business from it. But we spoke about it yesterday during a call that this kind of stuff's like long term. I don't think you'll really see any results until you've done this for like 6 months consistently. Once you've done 6 months, I think then you can kind of look at it and say like, oh, okay, did this work? What was our best performing content? What should we move forward on doing? Yeah, what do you think about that?
yes, and I see it also long term as you, Harry. And for me, what I gain now outside is to discuss a topic directly with you. We can record it, so we provide some value to the audience who's watching it. On the other side, I improve my English, and also I learn all these new words, which is also nice. And we're having some fun every Friday morning. So I really enjoy the show. And if people are going to watch it and they like the content, the value that we provide, even better.
So
Win-win.
Sebastian drew the long straw, guys, and he gets to do this at 9:30, but I always have to do it at 7:30. So definitely drew the short straw out of the
Yes,
two of us
yes, yes. True, true.
on
For
this
you, it's
one.
much earlier. Yes, yes. I should mention this. It's much earlier for you,
But
and yeah,
the sacrifice in time, right, to make content, from a business perspective, actually the benefits are more so than the disadvantages, I would say. Um, and if you're a solo freelancer, I think my biggest bit of advice is that sometimes you need people to help you do the work, even if it's to cover you for like just 4 hours a week. And in those 4 hours, you can then spend that time putting together a podcast, or you can spend that time putting together some YouTube videos, or some slides, or some posts for the week. But consistency is key. Turning up every single day at the same time and posting every single day at the same time without fail, is one. And then the second is making sure that you have some time blocked out in your calendar every week to make the content. Because I think the biggest struggle that I had when I started out, and something I hope all of you can avoid, is when I was making content, I was doing it at 8 a.m. every morning. So I was waking up, I was doing my morning routine, I was getting into the office, and then I was sat there and I was thinking, fucking hell, what post do I need to do today? And I had so much on that day that if I went over by half an hour or an hour, then I would be late on everything else. So I would rush myself. I would try and come up with a bullshit idea that I could put on LinkedIn in the first 30 minutes of my day. I'd quickly throw together some assets on Figma. I wouldn't have time to like think about it or like leave it there and just like come back to it later in the day and see if I'm still happy with the idea. Instead, it would get pushed out. And then by the end of the day, I'd be like, fucking hell, I feel so burnt out right now. What is causing this? And I realized doing content like that every morning, first thing, and rushing it was causing me a lot of stress. So
yeah.
now I block out time on a Monday, and that is the time to do the marketing. So when it comes to creating content like this, I would totally advise that you really choose a day that you're just going to sit down and spend 2, 3, 4 hours and clear your schedule. Don't let anything else happen. If somebody says, "Can I have a meeting 9 a.m." to me, I say no because I've got content to make. I'm sorry, but you have to be kind of selfish like that, I think.
Yeah. I totally agree. If you are not going to be selfish, then always your customers will have like fuck you, and you will never get it. So you need to serve split some time, reserve some time. Also, I'm not saying the customer that the customer should come first, of course, but there should be also some time for your business in order to grow. And you are the one that choose what is your priority in this time when the customer is asking you and you want to produce content.
Yes, I definitely agree. Well, I'm going to say we can close it out there. So, if you would like to follow Sebastian on any of your social platforms, it's Sebastian Bayer on LinkedIn, it's RE7 Agency on Instagram, and there's RE7 Consultancy on YouTube as well. We haven't mentioned that one before, so there's a little treat for you all today. Myself, it's Harry Roper on LinkedIn, Imaginary Space on Instagram, and Harry Roper on YouTube as well. This has been Harry and Seb Talks. It's been a really good chat. We talked about content today. If you have any questions, any ideas for topics, anything you'd like us to talk about, just throw it in the comments down below. We reply to every single comment that we get, and hopefully we will see you next week. Thanks again, Seb.
Harry, bye.
Bye-bye.